Hello students, welcome to a lesson through the virtual training center of the Brihan Mumbai Mahanagar Palika. My name is Shraddha teacher, and in this lockdown period, since we are not able to go to school children, we will be doing many lessons here online through the virtual class. So come on, let's proceed to our lesson for today.
Now children, when we talk about EVS 1, we talk about how we should live in the society, isn't it? When we did a lesson last time, we talked about the rules that we should follow, and rules are for everyone, and so many other things about how we should talk to people, how we should live in our community. But when we do lessons in EVS 2, you will see that these lessons are all connected to our history. Okay, that is in the beginning how we human beings were. So all this, how we came to be, is a name of our textbook, isn't it? So EVS 2 children is related to history. So now when you grow up a little bit more and when you go to standard 6th, we will start learning EVS 2 as history. Okay, so today what are we going to learn about? Today we are going to learn about history of the life on earth. Okay, life on earth means what? We will talk about how we people came into existence. Okay, so you can see this earth here, beautiful planet. It is called as the blue planet. It is called as the water planet. Okay, our earth has got many different names. Why is it called the water planet? Because there is water on the earth, and this water appears blue if you look at it from outer space, isn't it? That is why our earth, our planet, is also called as the water planet. But now children, we will try and see how this entire system, that is how this earth, which is a planet, and 7 other planets, that is partners of the earth in the solar system, how they came into existence. Okay, so there are many important and there are many interesting things that we will learn today. So let us see what are the main points of this particular lesson. So the main points in this lesson are, we will study about the formation of the earth. That is how the earth was a very big mass, not only the earth but the entire solar system. When you say solar system, it means the sun and the 8 planets and then the satellites of the planets like the moon, okay, and so many other things which we will talk about. So we will see how all these things formed. Okay, so the first and most important point in our lesson will be the formation of the earth and also the formation of the solar system. We will also talk about how the life began on the earth, that is beginning of life on the earth. And finally we will talk and we will see many interesting pictures about the animal world on the earth. I'm sure all of you all like animals, isn't it? When you watch National Geographic channel or when you watch Discovery channel, you get to see so many beautiful animals and you love to sit and watch them. So let us learn more about the animal world in this particular lesson. But children, if you open your textbook, you will see that this lesson is a little long, isn't it? So we will learn it in 2 parts. Okay? Now all of you, if you have your textbooks with you, you can please pause this video for a few seconds and you can go and get your EVS 2 textbooks and you can open and the textbook can come to page number 12. So what will happen is, as I am teaching, you will also be able to see the points which are there in the textbook, so you will understand better. Alright? So come on, I told you we will learn not only about the formation of the earth, but we will also talk about how the solar system came into existence, isn't it? So see here, this is our solar system. So there is the sun which is shining bright in the middle of the solar system. See here, you can see the arrow, this is the sun. Okay, and here is our planet, the earth, and then we have all these other planets, Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, Uranus, okay, Saturn, So we have so many other planets also, 7 other planets, and then we have the Earth. You can also see many other dots here. So it is not only the Sun and the 8 planets, but there are many other things also, which are like the meteoroids, okay, the comets, etc. I will show you pictures of all these objects, or we also call these objects as heavenly bodies. Heavenly bodies. Okay. So this, children, is our solar system, and like I told you, the Earth is a part of the solar system. Let's see one more image. See here. So you can see the Sun. Okay. So the Sun is a red hot ball of fire. It is the biggest star in our solar system. It is a star actually, the Sun. Okay. We get a lot of heat, we get a lot of light from the Sun. So all the energy on the Earth, that is the solar energy on the Earth, we get from the Sun. Okay. See, then you can see the names of these planets. See, you have Mercury, then you have Venus, and the third one is our Earth, and after Earth we have Mars, our neighbor. Then there is Jupiter, there is Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So these together, the 8 planets and the Sun and all the other heavenly bodies together, they form the solar system. Okay. Now in the beginning, children, there was no Sun, there was no planets. Okay. Everything was like one big cloud. It was an enormous cloud. Enormous means very big cloud. And in this cloud, there were lots of hot gases, and there was dust particles also. Now these gases and these dust particles, they used to spin. Spin means what? They used to go on moving round and round and round. Alright. So now all this was happening continuously. Okay. And how long ago all this was happening? This was happening 4.5 billion years ago. Okay. So at that time, our planets and our Sun and our solar system and all these other things, they were just an enormous cloud of very hot gases and dust. See here? They used to keep on spinning like this. Okay. So you can imagine that this might be the Earth. Okay. You could imagine that this is the Earth. Now all this is based on scientific research, that is research which was conducted by the different scientists. Okay, children. So see, you can see this is a big ball of fire, and maybe this big ball kept on moving, it went on spinning. So when something keeps on moving, what happens? It starts cooling down, isn't it? So maybe the Earth started cooling down. Maybe. We have not seen all this. Okay, I told you how long ago it has happened. 4.5 billion years ago. So none of us were there. Okay, none of us was around to see all this. So this is just based on the research done by scientists. Okay, and then because of this great speed of spinning, because the spinning was happening at great speed, then what happened is this dust started getting divided into smaller pieces. Can you see here? See, this is the big ball of dust, and because of the spinning, it started getting divided into smaller pieces like this and smaller systems, and thus the Sun and the 8 planets were created. So now you know how our Sun, how our 8 planets, and how our solar system was born. This is the story of the birth of the solar system. And then we had a beautiful solar system with the Sun, with the 8 planets and many other heavenly bodies. See, slowly you can see the image of the solar system which I showed you in the beginning, and this image, it is a little bit coming to place. Okay, something in the center and other things going around it. But remember, children, this did not happen overnight. Overnight means this did not happen quickly. It took a long period of time. We can't even imagine that much of time passed by before the solar system formed, after the cooling of all this enormous cloud of hot gases and dust. Alright? And then, children, life started forming on the earth. Formation of life on the earth started happening. So imagine if it was like this, if the earth was like this, there could be no life present on it. Why? Because it is very hot, isn't it? But when the earth started spinning and it started cooling, and when it became like this, then slowly and slowly life started forming on the earth. And it is said that the first life on the earth appeared in water. Okay? And the second most important thing is, among all these planets that we talked about till now, life is known to exist only on the earth. Okay? So these are two important points that you should remember, that life exists only on the earth. We do not know till now about life existing on any other planet. And the second thing is, it is said that the life started forming in water. Okay? So now you see how the earth was. Like this it was, and then it became like this, and slowly there were many other things also which formed. For example, we have these satellites. So what are satellites? Satellites are a small heavenly body which revolves around a bigger heavenly body. So the moon is a satellite of the earth. Okay, so many satellites started forming like this, and then we had comets. Now what is a comet? A comet is a broom shaped heavenly body. Broom, you know, jhadu, okay, with which we use a jhadu to clean our house, to sweep our houses. So the you can say the comet is a broom shaped heavenly body. Okay, I explained the term heavenly body to you many times. All these things are heavenly bodies. Alright, and then you have the meteoroid. See here, this is a meteoroid. Then we had asteroids. So these are all the members of the solar system family. So solar system does not mean only the earth and the other planets and the sun, but it includes all these things also. The comet, the satellites, the meteoroids, the asteroids, etc. Now what are these things? You will learn as you grow up and you go to the higher classes. Alright, so let us start about how life began on the earth, or history of life on the earth. So this is the earth. Okay, it was like this. First it was very red hot, and then it started cooling down slowly. You can see the color changing, and then you will see that the earth took about 80 crore years to cool down and the water bodies to form. So what formed? The water bodies started forming on the earth, and then life started appearing in these water bodies. So what are these called? These are called as protozoa. Okay, protozoa means unicellular organisms. Uni means one, unicellular, one cell. So a protozoa is a single celled organism. So these were the organisms which first appeared on the earth, that also in the water. Okay, so you can see this. These are all examples of protozoa or unicellular organisms. See, this is again one more unicellular organism or a protozoa. So the first life which formed on the earth had only one cell. Okay, now in our body we have millions of cells, but in the beginning there was just one cell. Alright, see here, you will learn about all these organisms when you grow to the higher classes. You will learn about amoeba, about paramecium, bacteria, euglena, etc. But that will be at a higher level. Now we will talk about, we will call all of them as protozoa. Okay, what are they? They are all examples of protozoa. Okay, and to look at a protozoa, it has got only one cell, isn't it? To look at a protozoa, you cannot see it with your naked eye. you have to make use of a microscope to see it. So next time you go to the laboratory, when the school reopens after this COVID pandemic, when you go to the lab, you tell your teacher to show you the microscope. Okay, so you will see that everywhere, every lab, they have a microscope. So what do you see? You observe these unicellular, very small particles under the microscope. Okay, so the protozoa is very tiny because it has got only one cell, and therefore you cannot see it with the naked eye. Alright, so these are all examples of unicellular organisms or protozoa. Slowly these unicellular organisms started multiplying, they started growing, and then we had the multicellular organisms. Multicellular organisms means organisms with more than one cell. So you have the lion, you have the beetle, you have trees. All these are living things, isn't it? And they have more than one cell. So they are all multicellular organisms. See here, the cat that you see in your area, the dog that you see in your area, the birds that you see around you, the flowers that you see around you, even the human body, our body, okay? All these are multicellular, means they have more than one cell. Now, like I told you, in the next part of this lesson, we will talk about the animal world on the earth, and there we will talk about all these beautiful animals, all these multicellular animals. Okay, so today also we will be doing a lesson. We will not start a lesson anew, but we will continue the lesson that we were doing last time. So you remember when we met last time, we were talking about life on earth. We talked about how this earth cooled and how the other planets were formed, how water was formed on the earth, and we also saw how many animals which were single celled, okay, how they got their life in this water, and from this single cell they became multicellular animals, and then we had animals which were big, like for example lions, tiger, camel, elephant, etc. Okay, so we talked about all these things last time. In this particular lesson we will be doing the second part of life on earth. So in this video you will be able to see part 2 of the lesson, life on earth. Now again, we will not go back and talk about how life came into existence. We will talk about the different types of animals now in this lesson. So last time we learned that slowly and slowly, from single cellular organisms which had to be looked at under a microscope. Remember, I showed you pictures of microscope also. Now in today's lesson we will talk about animals and how they are of different types. Okay, so when you talk about the living world, that is all the living things on this earth, they are divided into plants and they are divided into animals. So today's lesson we will not talk much about these plants, okay? About the plants we will learn about in a future lesson. In today's lesson we will talk about animals which are part of the living world. Now most of us, we know and we have seen many different types of animals. We have seen them right in front of our eyes, and we have seen them in the zoos, and some animals which we cannot see directly, we have seen them on television, okay? But all of us, we know about a lot of different types of animals, and most of us, we love watching and looking at these animals, isn't it? So in this picture also you can see a lioness, a female lion and her cub, and there are some beautiful spotted deer there. Can you see? And there are some deer with antlers also. So we are going to talk in more detail about this particular part of our living world, and that is the animal kingdom. Alright, and let me tell you, there are going to be beautiful pictures, beautiful images, and a lot of interesting things to learn in this lesson today for you. So children, we will start by talking about characteristics of animals. So what are the special qualities of animals? So when we learn about these special qualities, we will learn a lot about these animals. Alright, so when we talk about characteristics of animals, we are going to look at 3 characteristics today. One is breathing, second one is reproduction, and the third one is movement. Okay, so which are the 3 characteristics of animals that we will talk about in this video? We are going to talk about breathing. What is breathing? Taking in air and letting out air through our nose is called as breathing. Movement means going from one place to another. And reproduction is what? I will show you using pictures. Okay, so let us first look at the first characteristic of living things, and that is breathing. So let's see what is breathing. Can you see here? You can see 2 pictures. Alright, I will tell you what the difference in these 2 pictures is. So here, look at this picture. There is an arrow pointing towards the nose. And what is going in through the nose? It is oxygen or air which is going in through the nose. Where does it go from the nose? See, let us see where this air goes in. See here, through the nose it is going into your lungs. Alright, and you can see in this picture the lung size has become big, isn't it? So when you breathe in, the air enters your body through your nose and then it enters your lungs, and there certain things happen, that is the oxygen from the air is taken in and then breathing out happens. Can you see? Now the arrow is facing outwards. So what happens now here? After the oxygen is taken from the air, it is absorbed from the air by the lungs, the remaining gases which are there in the air is thrown out. See, now the air is coming out of the lungs and it is going outside your body. So that is called as breathing. This kind of breathing happens in all animals. Okay, we human beings, we breathe using our lungs. Can you see this pink organ in your body? That is the lung in your body. There are 2 lungs. Okay, we call it a pair of lungs. Like we have 2 kidneys, we have 2 eyes. In the same way, we have a lung which has got 2 parts to it. So this is breathing. Now this is breathing in human beings. Now even animals breathe. Alright, let's see. All these different types of animals, all of them breathe. Some of them breathe using their lungs and some of them breathe using some other parts of their body. Let us see for an example here. See, this is a spider. Spider also has got a small lung inside its body. Then this is a chicken or an egg, or a hen. That also has got a lung inside its body. Look at this particular animal. It is a sponge. You can find it underwater sometimes. See, that also has got some kind of organ through which it breathes. An organ means a part of the body. So the sponge also has got a part of the body through which it breathes. That means it takes in air and it gives out air. Look at our fish here. The fish breathes using gills. And look at the caterpillar. The caterpillar has got a lot of holes on its body, which is called as spiracles. So we do not have to learn the name of the caterpillar's breathing organ now. Okay, we will learn it later when we grow up. So different animals, they breathe in different ways. We human beings, what do? Let us see. Human beings make use of our noses and our lungs to breathe. Whereas all these other animals, they breathe in different ways. Look at the fish now. The fish is always underwater, isn't it? So the fish has got a special organ called as its gills. Let me show you how the gills in a fish work. So see, the oxygen goes into the body of the fish. Here it gets absorbed by the body of the fish. These are the gills in a fish. And the carbon dioxide leaves the body of the fish. So this is how fishes breathe, using gills. See the image of the gills. Can you see here? This is the image of the gills of a fish. Alright, the fish sometimes it takes in water through the mouth also, and then all the oxygen is absorbed from the water by the gills. Okay, so this is how fish breathe. Now there are some animals, children, which live in the water sometimes, and sometimes it lives on land. Okay, so God has given them two mechanisms to breathe. When they are on the land, they breathe like us through the nose. Alright, and when they are in the water, they breathe through their skin. What are these animals called? They're called amphibians. They can live on land as well as they can live underwater also. Can you live underwater? If you try to go underwater, you will die very soon. You won't be able to breathe, isn't it? But there are some special animals like this frog, which God has created them in such a way that they can live underwater also, and they can live outside water also. And they have their special ways of breathing then, like I showed you now. Alright, so this is how frogs or amphibians breathe. Now let's talk about some more. You can say, let us talk about some more characteristics of living things. What is this fish doing? We will look at certain images now. Okay, what is this fish doing? The fish is going from here to there and from there to here, isn't it? Let us look at one more image. What is the bird doing? The bird is flying. Can you see how it is moving its wings beautifully to fly? Alright, let us look at one more animal. Wow, this is the lion. It is the king of the jungle. Such a beautiful royal animal, isn't it? What is it doing? It is walking. And one more animal which all of us are scared of. Which animal is this? It is a snake. And what is the snake doing? It is crawling. So the fish is swimming, the bird is flying, the lion is walking, and the snake is crawling. What are all these things called? All these actions called? They are called as movements. And movements is the second characteristic of living things. Okay? Let us look at why animals move, why they should move. They should move in search of food. So see this monkey, to eat some fruit, it has to climb on top of a tree, isn't it? So animals, they move from one place to another in order to fill their stomachs so that they get something to eat. Look at these cows. They also go walking from one place to another, and then they graze on the grass, isn't it? So animals, they move so that they will get food to eat. Look at this crocodile. Now the deer is the food of the crocodile. So the crocodile is coming close to the deer. Can you see how the crocodile is coming, moving towards the deer? So the crocodile also has to eat, isn't it? The crocodile also feels hungry. So animals move in order to find food to eat. Animals also move in order to escape from other animals. Now here the lion is trying to catch the deer, but the deer wants to save its life. All of us want to save our life, isn't it? None of us want to die. So this poor deer, if it wants to save its life, what does it do? It runs away from the lion, and that is movement, running, isn't it? So in the same way, there are animals which move. So animals move in different ways and for different reasons. So we saw that animals move for the sake of finding food. They also move for the sake of saving themselves. and these are the different kind of movement in animals. Some animals fly, like we saw in the first image here on movements. Some animals, they fly. Some of them, like reptiles, they crawl on the ground. Okay, they push their bodies forward on the ground. And some animals, they walk. Can you see this doggy walking? Then look at this tiger walking. Look at this camel walking. Okay, so some animals, they fly, some of them they walk, and some of them they swim also. So this is about movement in animals. Let us now go and talk about the third characteristic of animals, and that is reproduction. Reproduction means what? Giving birth to or creating something which is exactly like you, but it is small in size. Look at this dog and look at the puppy. They are the same, na? The dog is the mama dog and the puppy is the baby dog. So when the mama dog gives birth to this baby dog, that is called as reproduction. Now children, look at this. A cat and its kitten. So the cat has given birth to the kitten. So you have a big cat and a small cat which looks exactly like the big cat. But reproduction, children, in animals, it happens in two ways. One is by laying eggs. Okay, animals create a smaller animal by laying eggs. Can you see the different types of eggs here? Eggs of different types of birds. Alright, so you can see how these small baby animals come out of these eggs. So this is one way in which animals reproduce, and the second way is when they give direct birth to their young ones. So you can see the horse and the baby horse. The baby horse is either called a foal or it is called a colt. Then you have the tiger and the cub. You have the dog and the puppies. You have the cat and the kitten. So this is called as reproduction by giving birth. This was reproduction by laying eggs. So animals can reproduce in two ways, either by laying eggs or by giving birth to their young one directly. Okay, so all of us, we were born in this way. Our mummies, they gave direct birth to us. See, this is how a chicken gives birth to its baby. First it lays an egg and then the egg breaks, and from that you have a chicken coming out. The chicken becomes big and the chicken again lays an egg, and again the baby comes out, and the cycle goes on. Okay children, so some animals, they lay eggs. Look at this animal, it lays eggs, na? Okay, see, this is a bird which has laid eggs. Even snakes, they lay eggs. Okay, and some animals, they give birth to their young ones. So the cow gives birth to the calf. The horse, it gives birth to the foal or to the colt. And you have the elephant, which gives birth to the elephant cub.
So children, wasn't that a wonderful video? And did you enjoy watching it? So if you want to watch more such videos in future, then please like this video and also subscribe to our channel, the MCGM Portal for Education, and also hit the bell button so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video here. Thank you so much for now. Let's meet again soon.